We're moving on to 10.3. What? All right. 5 to the negative 2 is the same thing as 1 over 5 squared. So that would just be 1 over 25. Okay. 10.3. Yes. We did 10.2 Friday. Okay. 2/5 to the negative 2 is going to be 5 halves squared, which is 25 over 4. Okay, there are a lot of problems in this set, but it shouldn't be too difficult. So if we flip those, I get x squared over x to the 4th, which is just 1 over x squared. I thought you were saying, no, it's not to me. I'm pretty sure I can do that problem. Of course, I do make a lot of mistakes. All right. Couple different ways to look at this. U to the negative 6 to the negative 4th. We can flip this upside down and get 1 over u to the 6th to the negative 4ths. And then it will flip upside down again, and I get u to the 6th over 1 to the 4th. And then I can bring this in, u to the 24th over 1 to the 4th, which is just u to the 24th. That's the long way to do it. The other way would be just multiply the exponents together. So u to the 24th. Okay. All right. I think I'm interrupting here. That's okay. I'm sure this is more important. All right. V to the negative 4 times v squared is going to be v to the negative 2, which is just 1 over v squared. All right, scientific notation with negative exponents. In the last assignment, we did something like 5 times 10 to the third, and we moved the decimal to the right 3 places. Here, the decimal is negative, so I'm going to move it to the left 3 places, and I get 0.005. Okay. All right. Right, without a negative exponent, that would be 3 over n squared. We're flying. What is 6 over 7 to the 0? That would just be 1. And why is that? Why is x to the 0 equal to 1 as long as x is not 0? Well, if I had x squared over x squared, and I used the quotient rule and subtracted, that would be x squared times x to the negative 2. Add the exponents, and I get x to the 0. But anything over itself is 1, and that's why x to the 0 is 1. All right. So this negative is going to flip it upside down. 1 over negative 2 squared, that's a 2. And then negative 1/2 times negative 1/2 is going to be 1/4. So that negative is going to be swallowed up by the squared. If this was a third power, then it would be 1 over negative 8. Because negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 remains negative. Okay. Move the decimal to the left 4 places, 0.00093334. All right. So any negative exponents are going to flip sides. So we get 18 y to the 5th, y to the 9th, z to the, z to the 7th, z to the 8th over 3x to the 4th. 18 and 3 turn into a 6. Then I have 14 y's and 15 z's on top, and then x to the 4th on bottom. So just move all the negatives to the other side and then simplify. All right. 5.6 times 10 to the negative 2 divided by 7 times 10 to the negative 8. So I need to figure out what is 5.6 divided by 7. That would be 0.8. 7 times 8 is 56. So I get 0.8. And then 10 to the negative 2 over 10 to the negative 8. If I move this to the top, I get 10 to the negative 2 times 10 to the 8th. And then we just add the exponents together, and I get 10 to the 6th. So this is the quotient of my coefficients. And then this is my quotient of the exponential piece. So I have 0.8 times 10 to the 6th. However, the rules of scientific notation say you have to have one number in front of the decimal. So if I move this to the right, how is that going to affect my 10 to the 6th? Well, moving a decimal to the right is like multiplying by 10. So this needs to go up by 1. So 0.8 times 10 to the 6th is exactly the same thing as 8.0 times 10 to the 7th. Does that make sense? Oh, I went the wrong way. No, sorry. That should be a 5. So 0.8 times 10 to the 6th is the same thing as 8.0 times 10 to the 5th. Yeah, that's right. All right. So I'm going to multiply each of these exponents by negative 5. 2 to the negative 5, x to the 30th, y to the negative 25. So that will be x to the 30th over 2 to the negative 5 is 1 over 32. Y to the 25. Oh, yeah. All right. Same idea here. I'm going to multiply all of the exponents by negative 2. 4 to the negative 2, y to the negative 10, and y to the 8th. Then move all the negatives. 1 over 4 squared is 16, y to the 8th, y to the 10th. So 1 over 16, y to the 18th. Okay. And lastly, oh boy, that's fun. Multiply all of the exponents by negative 2. 3 to the negative 2, m to the negative 6, n squared over 4 to the negative 2, n to the 12th, and m to the 6th. Then we move all the negatives. So on top, I get 16 n squared. And on bottom, I get 9 n to the 12th m to the 6th, m to the 6th. Then we simplify, 16 over 9, and I end up with 10 n's on the bottom and 12 m's on the bottom. Was that the last one? Yep. All right. Get to work. Good luck.